Hey again everyone, welcome back to the stage. We got another good one for you today. I know I didn't upload last month, but if you saw my post on my channel here, I actually bought a house. So I took that month to move in and unwind for a bit, but I'm back now. As usual, in any solo raid dungeon, you do receive the Unbreakable Will and All-Rounder buffs that get stronger over time. We got a bunch to go over for Berthe raid, so let's jump right in. Now moving on to 15.6, the Altar of Invocation. In this raid dungeon, you encounter yet another familiar face. Remember that dog demon you hated from Berthe? He's back, and he learned some new tricks. Let's waste no time and jump right in so you can defeat him yet again. After showing off for a bit, Berthe will begin the phase. There is one enemy to hit in this phase. He also has an entire arsenal of attacks and mechanics he can use. He has several attacks that he will repeat multiple times through this phase. The ones he repeats the most are these. For his dashing slash attack, Berthe will run forwards towards you and jump out, slashing at you with his claws. This attack doesn't deal high damage, so you should be able to tank this, just make sure your HP isn't super low. For his Ice Spike Smash attack, Berthe will rise up on his back legs and smash the ground, resulting in ice spikes rising up in front of him. This attack doesn't deal a lot of damage either, so again, just make sure you aren't super low on HP to tank it if you can't avoid it. For his Ice Spike Smash combo, Berthe will swipe at you twice with his claws before doing an Ice Spike Smash. This attack doesn't deal a lot of damage, so just make sure you aren't super low on HP yet again if you have to tank it. For his summoned Ice Spike, Berthe will raise his arms similar to the Ice Spike Smash. However, this time, a singular spike will spawn beneath your character's location. If hit, it will send your character flying and does decent damage if you don't have defense. However, you have plenty of time to avoid this spike. For Berthe's bands, Berthe Raid introduces a crucial mechanic, skill bands. Similar to Berthe, Berthe howls banning specific skill types. The skills are color-coded. Tenacity is blue, Strength is purple, and Bravery is red. Commands and actives are never banned. Berthe's Howl summons a color-coded orb indicating the band's skill type. Again, blue for Tenacity, purple for Strength, and red for Bravery. Initially, only one type is banned, but as his HP drops, he can ban 2 or all 3 skill types. The bans are active as long as Berthe has an aura emanating from him. Reaching 6 stacks of banned skills results in an instant death unless you have a resurrection title, passive, or synergy. Even if you survive the howl, you will also receive a silence debuff that prevents you from activating any skills, so be careful. For Berthe's Ice Laser attack, Berthe will charge up a laser attack, firing it out in a cone out to one direction. If hit, you will be frozen instantly, forcing you to alternate movement keys to break out. If Berthe's bans have been active for a while, this attack tends to happen when the bans are cleared. This attack also tends to deal some damage if you don't have defense, so make sure to avoid it. Moving on to Phase 2, Berthe absorbs the power of the White Ghost King and transforms into a massive boss. There is one enemy to hit in this phase. This is where character knowledge comes into play. If your character has damage skills that are more focused around a single area, your place will be right underneath his head. If your character has widespread DPS skills, like Animos, your place will be by his left hand. The reason for this is since Berthe is so big in this phase, a character like Animos wouldn't do much good being by his head when her skills can extend from his hand to his head to deal extra burst damage. Again, Berthe has an entire arsenal of attacks he can use. For his grab and swipe attack, Berthe will extend one of his hands outward, grabbing at you. He will then swipe at you with his claws. This attack doesn't deal great damage either, so just make sure you're not super low on HP to tank if needed. For his map swipe attack, a gold target line will appear on the map, showing where Berthe is going to swipe. If you're in this line, try to get out of it if you can. If not, it doesn't deal great damage, so you are able to tank this swipe. Just make sure to use potions afterward if you are low on HP. For bands, the bands also appear in this phase, signified by the orbs at the top of your screen. The colors are the exact same and nothing is different from phase 1 on bands. If you reach 6 stacks, Berthe will howl and it will result in your instant death unless you can use a res passive. Again, a silence debuff will be put on you as well if you do survive it. This being said though, you can out DPS his bands in this phase. To do so, simply get his health bars down about 3 to 5 bars and the ban will expire. For his laser attack, Berthe will raise his hands and one of the orbs on his right or left shoulder will start glowing. It will then fire out a laser that has a constant hitbox. This attack deals pretty decent damage if you don't have defense, so make sure to avoid it. To avoid it, simply go to the other side of Berthe. He will fire both lasers when doing this attack, so once the first one stops firing, make sure to change sides. For his aura debuffs mechanic, an aura will begin emanating from Berthe, one side being black and the other side being white. You must pay attention to your debuffs for this mechanic. The longer you stay on one side, the more stacks of a certain debuff you receive. Once your stacks hit 10, the debuff will immediately kill you. You can use a res title to survive this, but it's easier to just do the mechanic. Berthe can also still attack during this, so make sure you're paying attention. To avoid death, simply switch sides when you reach around 6 to 8 stacks. The previous stacks will disappear and you will start getting stacks for the opposite side. Repeat this process until the mechanic is finished to perform it successfully. For his summoned ice spike, similar to phase 1, Berthe will raise a hand and a spike of ice will rise from the ground. However, this one will have a health bar and will remain on the field. This spike cannot be attacked with skills. You must use actives or commands to damage it. The spike will not do high damage, so if you can't avoid it, you're fine to tank it. For Berthe's summoned orb mechanic, Berthe will raise his left hand and summon an orb in his palm. This orb will summon more orbs on the battlefield. Your job is to destroy them quickly before Berthe can absorb them to avoid taking damage. Simply destroy any summoned orbs to successfully complete this mechanic. After this mechanic is done, Berthe will become groggy or stunned, allowing you to do some damage. Upon defeating Berthe, another enemy appears. There is one enemy to hit in this phase. Good news is you no longer have to worry about any bans in this phase as Berthe is defeated. However, Agurp himself has a plethora of attacks as well. For his tracking orbs attack, Agurp will fire 3 orbs out that track you. These orbs do not do great damage, so you are able to tank these. Just make sure you aren't super low and use an HP pot if necessary. Agurp can also teleport around the map. If you move too far away from him, Agurp will teleport closer to you. It is advised to keep him in the spot I have him in here for max damage. For his orbs attack, Agurp will send out an orange shockwave, signifying he is about to release black and white orbs from his body. At lower HP thresholds, he can do this multiple times. These orbs do damage if you don't have defense, so avoiding them is advised. It may seem like a lot, but just make sure to stand in the spots I'm standing in to avoid them. For the laser attack, the screen will zoom out and Agurp will summon multiple black and white lines showing where the lasers will be firing. There will be spots where you will be safe, but if you aren't confident in getting there and don't have defense, make sure to toss a dark orb at him to mitigate the damage done by the lasers. For his multi-orbs attack, similar to the orbs attack, he just does it multiple times. For his ultimate attack, Agurp will teleport into the background and begin charging an attack. There will be one spot that is marked with a black magic circle. You must stand in the circle and absorb the orb that will fall. Doing so will place a shield around your character so that you don't take damage from this attack. Once this attack is finished, Agurp will become groggy or stunned, allowing you to DPS. For his healing mechanic, Agurp will summon an orange magical circle around him. This is your cue to know he is performing his healing mechanic. If you do not absorb the black falling orb, he will heal 15 bars of HP. Make sure to interrupt this by absorbing the black orb. For his enhanced orbs, at around 110 HP bars, anytime Agurp does the orb attack, it will be enhanced as he sends out additional orbs. This may make it look even worse, but again, just stand where I'm standing to avoid the orbs. Some tips for newer players. This raid introduces mechanics you've never seen before if you're just now starting out. It's understandable to feel overwhelmed at the sheer amount of attacks and just what this raid brings to the table. For Phase 1, pay attention to Berthe's howls and your debuffs. If you're at 5, play it safe and wait for the aura surrounding Berthe to disappear before pressing any skills. Focus on dodging and survival. For Phase 2, know your character. If your character is like Animos with a widespread DPS skill, don't position yourself at his head. Position yourself at his left hand for max damage. The opposite goes for if a character's DPS skills are more focused around them instead of being widespread. You'll position yourself right beneath his chin. For Phase 3, honestly, Dark Orbs are going to be your friend. They will cut his damage down so much to the point where no attack he does will barely deal any sort of damage to you. Make sure you stock up on them and use them as needed. Train yourself to stand in the spots I showed to avoid the orbs. It looks like a lot, but there are safe spots you can stand to avoid damage.
Man, Berthe Raid adds a ton of new things, but don't forget that the goal is still the same as Varnamir. Defeat the boss and claim those rewards. Use the information here to your advantage and get that Vestige of Soul Weapon of Requiem. The curtains are closing for now, but be sure to come on back when we open them again. And as always, don't forget to break some legs and do the whoosh.